Hi everyone, welcome to another Home Insight. Our topic for today's video is how to pick the perfect color palette for your interior space without having to use a color wheel or any color schemes. In this video, we will be discussing some fresh ideas to pick colors for your interior, which will make you feel more confident in your selection, consequently resulting in a space which reflects you and your taste. So, you want to design or refurbish a space but cannot decide how to give it a look that you will absolutely adore. You want to take a risk but are not so sure about it. You must have doubts how will it eventually turn out. Would you still like it or it will be a total disaster? And the thing is, you cannot even begin to decide which scheme to go for. You have watched all those color psychology videos and clearly know the difference between monochromatic, complementary, analogous, triadic, tetradic, and whatnot. But you're still stuck at square one. Which scheme to go for? At this stage, I would say just forget the color wheel. Forget all the schemes. You need something which truly inspires you and leaves no room for doubts. You can only be sure about it when you can kind of visualize the whole outcome. Step 1. You have to start with a very basic question to yourself. What kind of energy do you want in the space you are designing? You want it to be calm and cozy, or do you want it to look lively and energizing? The feeling you want to invoke in a space is going to help you immensely in the process of narrowing down the colors from an overwhelming number of choices. Step 2. Even if you are redesigning the whole space, there has to be something which you are sure about integrating in the new design. It can be a sofa, an art piece, or a painting. If it's a painting, that makes your job so much easier. Step 3. Find a painting which inspires you and evokes the feeling you want to achieve in your space. It can be something you own and are going to incorporate on the wall opposite the window, or it could be some classic that you really adore. Here we are going to reflect on how we derived color schemes from the color palette of some old classics. First, we have this beautiful masterpiece by Degas. If you study the color palette used here, we see very muted and earthy tones, which are a background to the blush pink female figure, emphasizing softness and femininity. This color palette, ranging from pinks to browns with a hint of dusty blue, evokes gentle, warm, and heavy feelings. This painting inspired us to use this color palette in an informal living space on beautiful pieces highlighting curves and femininity. The wooden textured floor has the same dull hues as the one used in the muddy background in the painting. Oranges, pinks, and browns take up most of the space visually, while a hint of dusty blue is used on just a cushion cover, maintaining almost the same color proportion in the space as that in the painting. Next, we have the famous Girl in the Pearl by Vermeer. The next step is the same, analyzing the color palette already thought of by an artist. Where else to take an inspiration from if not someone who has an eye for color schemes and proportions? What we see here is a high contrasting color palette of a bright blue against browns and beiges with just a splash of red. It is a cheerful combination and it inspired us to go for these tones in a renovation project of a living space in a very contemporary setting. Just like in the painting, the eye moves from one bright color to another. Now it is up to you if you want to display the painting you chose in the same space or substitute it with something more subtle and abstract. Similarly, we experimented with soft pastel tones of blues and pinks in this bedroom space. Our color palette was defined by this painting of a seashore. What is a better color palette for a bedroom if not something in pastels to induce tranquility and peacefulness? Now, if you're up for a little experimentation and being creative, we have another suggestion for you. It will work best if you are actually going to display the inspiration of your palette on the wall. If you cannot decide on any single artwork for inspiration, select at least 3 frames and put them together. See and ask your friends, how does this combination look together? And how does it make you feel? And can you imagine the same scheme in an entire space? If you still have any confusion, share your inspiration with us in the comments below for a professional opinion. We came across this truly artistic scheme for this living room, which was only possible through the combination of different frames. The artwork displayed at the back further emphasizes the overall ambiance and leaves no room for any confusion. The dull pink and green is a really beautiful combination, abundantly found in nature. When you are experimenting with different combinations, you get a lot of room to be creative and can set the mood just right for a space which you wish to achieve. Here we have very colorful frames on a neutral wall. The entire space is consequently very bright and cheerful. In the end, we come to the boring functional spaces of bathrooms and kitchens. Who says we cannot adorn these spaces with some beautiful frames? Now, of course, don't hang your portraits in there, but feel free to go for any artistic piece which you own to enhance the color scheme of these spaces. The whole process can also go the other way around, where your artwork alone can set up an entire different mood for a boring space. Just like this painting is bringing life to a very stark white kitchen, the addition of other colorful elements inspired from the color palette of this painting is eventually gonna make this kitchen very happy and cheerful space for a family's gathering. If you look closely, you will find so many other designers following the same idea. Either they do it around their art piece or they find some artwork to complement their interior space. Well, one way or another, the internet is filled with such design trends. If you have any design dilemma related to interior or architecture, leave it in the comments below. Your design dilemma can become one of the design videos here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.